Pinstripe is a hauntingly beautiful side-scroller adventure game that pulls you into its eerie world with a mix of platforming, puzzles, and heartfelt storytelling. You play as Ted, a former minister navigating a surreal, icy underworld in search of his kidnapped daughter. Right off the bat, the game's atmosphere hooks you with its hand-drawn art style and a haunting soundtrack that perfectly complements the dark themes. What makes Pinstripe stand out is its seamless blend of gameplay and narrative. You'll solve clever puzzles, battle bizarre enemies, and use a trusty slingshot to interact with the environment. It feels dynamic, partly because it borrows from point-and-click adventures while keeping the pace of a modern action platformer. But it's not just about gameplay. The emotional depth here is striking. Themes of loss, redemption, and hope weave through the story, adding layers that hit hard without overstaying their welcome. If you're a fan of fast-paced action roguelikes, Warm Snow is a must-play. This game throws you into a dark, fantastical world where an ominous warm snow falls endlessly, corrupting everything it touches. You play as Bian, a warrior on a mission to uncover the truth and fight through hordes of twisted enemies. The gameplay is where Warm Snow truly shines. It's often compared to Hades, but it has its own unique identity. The signature feature? Flying swords. You'll throw these swords at enemies, dealing massive damage, and then summon them back in a whirlwind of destruction. The mechanic creates a dynamic rhythm as you switch between ranged attacks, melee combat, and dodging deadly strikes. Add to that a variety of weapons, abilities, and modifiers, and you've got endless ways to experiment and master the combat system. Visually, the game stuns with its gritty art style and fluid animations. The bosses are especially impressive, with designs that feel both menacing and intricate. MO. Astray is a game that oozes creativity and intrigue. This side-scrolling platformer puts you in control of a sentient blob, and while that might sound simple, the gameplay is anything but. Your unique ability to fling yourself onto enemies' heads and control their bodies opens up a world of possibilities. Each enemy you possess brings new abilities, adding layers of complexity to platforming, puzzle solving, and combat. The game's atmosphere is chilling. Set in a desolate sci-fi world, MO. Astray combines eerie visuals with a haunting soundtrack that keeps you on edge. The horror tone is surprisingly effective, especially as you uncover the story by reading the fragmented memories of the creatures you control. The deeper you go, the more you unravel the tragic fate of this world, and it's both brutal and fascinating. Don't let the charming anime visuals fool you. Little Witch no Beta is no walk in the park. This is a full-fledged Souls-like action RPG that delivers a serious challenge while wrapping it in a spellbinding magical theme. You play as Nobita, a young witch exploring a mysterious castle to uncover her past. Along the way, you'll face powerful enemies, formidable bosses, and puzzles that test your wits. The combat in Little Witch no Beta is the highlight. Nobeta wields a magical staff capable of casting different elemental spells like fire, ice, and thunder. Each spell type has unique properties, adding variety to how you approach battles. The ranged combat feels fresh for a Souls-like, but you'll also need to master melee attacks, dodging, and parrying to survive the tougher fights. Timing is everything here, and the game rewards precision and strategy. Skybolt Zack is a high-energy action platformer that dares to be different, combining lightning-fast reflex gameplay with a rhythm-inspired twist. You play as Zack, a bionic hero blasting through vibrant levels by chaining together attacks on color-coded enemies. Each enemy corresponds to a specific button on your controller, and mastering this system feels like learning an exhilarating, fast-paced dance. What makes Skybolt Zack unique is how it blends platforming with quick reaction combat. You're not just running and jumping, you're stringing together combos to propel yourself through the air, bounce between enemies, and maintain a constant flow of action. The better your timing and accuracy, the more rewarding and fluid the gameplay becomes. The level design shines with multiple paths and challenges that cater to players of all skill levels. Skilled players can aim for high scores by chaining flawless combos and staying on the upper paths, while newcomers can take the lower routes for a more forgiving experience. PID is an indie gem that stands out for its creative take on puzzle platforming. You play as Kurt, a young boy stranded on an alien planet who must find his way home using a gravity-defying beam mechanic. This beam is the heart of the game, letting you control Kurt's movements in unexpected ways. By strategically placing beams, you can float across gaps, navigate tricky environments, and solve intricate puzzles. What makes PID so engaging is its balance of challenge and discovery. Each level introduces new mechanics, keeping the gameplay fresh while steadily ramping up the difficulty. The puzzles require both creative thinking and precise timing, and just when you've mastered one mechanic, the game throws another clever twist your way. Boss fights, which feature unique mechanics of their own, offer a nice change of pace and add to the game's variety. Backpack Hero flips the traditional RPG formula on its head, making your inventory the star of the show. You play as a plucky adventurer exploring procedurally generated dungeons, but instead of leveling up stats, you expand and optimize your backpack. It's not just about what you carry, it's about how you organize it, and the game turns this simple idea into a surprisingly deep and rewarding experience. Every item in your backpack has specific effects, and their placement can make or break your strategy. Weapons need to be positioned just right to activate their abilities, while armor and potions offer bonuses depending on their arrangement. As you level up, your backpack grows, giving you more room for creativity and powerful combos. The result is a puzzle-like system that's endlessly satisfying to experiment with. The gameplay blends this unique inventory management with classic turn-based combat. Battles are fast-paced but strategic, as you carefully decide how to use your limited action points. Eagle Island and its follow-up, Eagle Island Twist, are fantastic action platformers that blend smooth gameplay with breathtaking pixel art. These games are centered around your eagle companion, Koji, who isn't just a sidekick but a key part of the gameplay. By aiming and launching Koji at enemies or objects, you can chain attacks, solve puzzles, and navigate challenging levels in ways that feel fresh and dynamic. The original Eagle Island leans into a roguelike structure. Each run takes you through procedurally generated dungeons filled with dangerous enemies, powerful upgrades, and a constant sense of discovery. Meanwhile, Eagle Island Twist offers a more traditional stage-based platforming experience, where each level introduces unique modifiers, like frozen floors or low gravity, that completely change how you approach the game. What really stands out about these games is their attention to detail. The pixel art is stunning, with lush environments and fluid animations that breathe life into every corner of the world. The gameplay is equally polished, with tight controls that make exploring and battling enemies a joy. Squad 51 vs. the Flying Saucers is a shoot-'em-up that's unlike anything else on the Switch. Inspired by 1950s black and white sci-fi films, this game fully commits to its retro aesthetic, delivering a visually striking experience that feels like a classic B-movie brought to life. The story follows a rebellion against alien invaders, led by the sinister director Zorog, blending cheesy dialogue, grainy film effects, and over-the-top action for a style that's both nostalgic and fresh. The gameplay itself is fast, intense, and incredibly satisfying. You'll pilot various aircraft through side-scrolling stages, dodging enemy fire and taking down waves of UFOs, massive battleships, and otherworldly machines. The twist? Your shots tilt based on your movement, adding a layer of precision and strategy that sets it apart from traditional shmups. Time Rift is a bold, genre-defying game that blends puzzle-solving, action, and a unique hacking theme into an unforgettable experience. You control a ship navigating a constantly shifting maze while evading a creeping pink firewall that threatens to consume everything in its path. The premise is simple: hack the system, unlock the way forward, and escape before time runs out. But the execution? It's brilliant. The gameplay revolves around manipulating time. You can slow it down, stop it entirely, or even reverse it to outwit obstacles and enemies. These mechanics aren't just gimmicks. They're integral to solving the game's increasingly complex puzzles. Every level is a brain teaser that forces you to think outside the box, combining precision movement with strategic planning.
Company command! This is first platoon! We've lost the square! We can't hold it!
In darkness, I shall be light. In times of